Functions, okay? So for example, okay, what a function means is the following, okay? Very first example would be 2x plus 3. Now, to do the function 2x plus 3, what this function means is f of x equals 2x plus 3. X values are described as your inputs, okay? So input is what's called the x values. Output is what's referred to as f of x or y. Now, an example would be if I put in x equals 1 and x equals 4. What happens is when you put 1 into this equation, it becomes 2 times 1 plus 3, which gives you the point, which gives you the number 5. On the second one, it'll be 2 times 4 plus 3, which gives you 11. This means if you were to draw this, it would involve the points 1, 5 and 4, 11. Okay? That's how you do these, okay? Now, what's going to happen is, if the value has an x in it, it means it changes. If it doesn't have an x in it, see the way this one is 5, it means it's completely unaffected by the x value, and it's always going to be the number 5. So you'll find that it's going to be just a straight line going directly up or directly across. In fact, it's a straight line going directly across. Now let me show you what the language means. I'm going to pick apart the language for you now, okay? For the time being, all you guys need to worry about is the first part and the third part. And tomorrow's class, I'll go over what the language of codomain, domain and range is. You don't need to know that just yet. Okay? So here's what you need to do. To get full marks on something like this, and there's a really good way of doing it. -2 is your start. 3 is your end. Okay? And what's going to be what we refer to as our step. Sorry guys. What we refer to as our step is the number 1. Okay? Now look at this. You go to mode, table function, f of x equals 2, x plus 3 equals. You're starting at the value to the left, which is -2. You're then ending at the value which is 3. You press equals, step of 1, and long behold, all your results are here. Now there's one catch to this. The catch is, you have to do a table. So you actually have to write this down. f of 1 equals, what's the start? f of -2, f of -2, 2 times -2 plus 3. f of -1, 2 times -1 plus 3. f of 0. Now you have to write this out, otherwise you lose marks. And this is basically showing you your workings. Okay? f1 equals 2 times 1 plus 3. And then finally, from all the way up to 3, f of 2 ends up to be 2 times 2 plus 3. And then finally f of 3, which is 2 times 3 plus 3. Now, what you're going to get next is all these values I have here, -1, 1, all the way up are the answers to each part. So, for example, that's going to be -1, it's going to be 1, it's going to be 3, 5, 7, 9. What you know is about the gap between each one?
2.
It's a gap of 2. This means it's a line of slope 2. Now let me show you what happens now, okay? What you're going to do is you're going to have to graph this, okay? Now, the quick way, if somebody can make a note of my first and last point, that would be brilliant. Okay, my first point being -2, -1, my last point being 3, 9. Just keep a note of that now for me. -2, -1, 3, 9. Now look what happens here, okay? What I can do is this. Okay, go to graph paper, and you go, okay. And what's my first point again? -2 -1, which is here. And what's the other one?
3 and 9.
So 3 and 9. Okay, so just give me this. -2, -1, -2, was it? And then 3, 9, is it? Now, problem unfortunately for me here at the moment is that 3, 9 is out of my range, so there we go again. Okay, so go again, and then up to 3, 9. You only ever have to put in the first and the last point for a line. Do you understand that? And what you might do then is you'll just go across, just the way I do it. I just come across here and start dotting. And then now I have all my points. Now, what you're going to notice here, just from a standpoint, rise over run, 1 across, 2 up. What type of slope is that? A +2 slope. Okay? So that's a line 1 done for you. Okay? All these questions from questions 1 to 6 are done the same. Sometimes you're going to have to graph fractions, which makes it more difficult. Alright, moving on to the next type, which is a quadratic equation. Okay? What I'm going to do here, if it's a plus x squared, it's n-shaped. If it's a minus x, that's the way around. When it's a plus x squared, it's u-shaped. When it's a minus x squared, it's n-shaped. So for example, I'm going to do the last one. I already know it's an n-shaped graph. So look at this. You put it into your calculator, modes, table, just enter it in. 3 plus, 5x minus x squared. Okay. Minus 2 to 7. Okay. Step is 1. Here's all your points here. Is everybody happy with that? Yeah. Now, does everybody know also to get full marks in the exam, are you completely aware that you actually have to go through all of this? G of minus 2 equals 3 plus 5 times minus 2 by minus 2 squared. You then have to go G of minus 1, and you're going to have to do that all the way down. And I'm just going to put dot 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 here and then you're going to have to do it. You can't do that. You guys actually have to write down each one. But then you're going to have to get all the way down to 7. And you have to say 3 times 5 times 7 minus 7 squared. Are we happy with that? Now, this part here, these are the x values. And the answer you get from each part. So for example, I'm just going to take down 3 values here. It's going to be minus 11 minus 3, minus 11 minus 3, and minus 3. Is that right? Minus 11, oh no, sorry. Minus 11, minus 3, and minus 11. So for example, the point minus 2 minus 11 is a point, the point minus 1 minus 3 is a point, the point 7 minus 11 is a point. You've got to plot all of these points out on the graph. Now, can somebody please call this formula out to me in a second, please? Okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to go to your graph paper, okay, you're going to draw your XY axis out, and can somebody call out that equation for me now, please?
3 plus 5x minus x squared.
Minus x squared, okay. And as you can see, I'm just going to zoom out here now, okay, as you can see, it's an n-shaped graph, and any of the points we had, so for example, I'm going to check out one of the points. Let's check out the top of it, the top of the graph. Now, lads, how do you know when you're at the top of the graph? Look, okay, minus 11 is lower than minus 3, so we're down here at the moment. Then when we get to 0, we're at 0, 3. So for example, this point here, that's 0, 3 right there. Okay, so I'm just going to write down some significant points of the graph. The other significant point of the graph might be when it goes back to 0. What about the maximum 2 points? They happen at 2, 9 and 3, 9. So if I was to zoom in on this, we can see that 2, 9 and 3, 9 are both here. Sorry, just to scroll until. So you can see that there's 2, 9 and 3, 9. Now where's the maximum point located? Halfway between them. Do you understand? Maximum point is going to be at x equals, just scroll down, C and D are 2 and 3, so when x equals 2.5, it's at its maximum value. Okay guys, and then you just link all the points together and you draw them out basically. That's what happens in a nutshell. You're just going to draw all these, dot in all these points and then draw them in. Okay, so this is nothing you haven't done in junior cert, right? Okay, perfect. So lads, for the weekend, okay,